Hey everyone, I just wanted to pop on really quick and let you know how we homeschool over here at the Hall's Happy Home. I know that a lot of parents are struggling right now trying to decide what's best for their kids, and honestly, I can't tell you what's best, but I can tell you what we do and why we do it. So, we made the decision to homeschool Xander and Samuel last year before everything hit because we felt like with my education background that I could give them a good solid foundation. We know that's not the case for everybody and that not everybody has the ability to stay home and homeschool and commit to that. But what's great about homeschool is that it can look like whatever you want it to look like because honestly, all kids learn differently. And what works for one kid might not work for all kids. In our house, that's certainly the case. Xander is very independent and can do independent learning, whereas Samuel needs a little bit of extra guidance and help. There is no one-size-fits-all homeschool. Every child learns differently, and so you'll have to adapt to their needs, and that's what's going to make it work. And I'm not saying that what we do is best and right and exactly what everybody else has to do, because honestly, you just have to do what's best for your family. Xander first. We tried a couple different things. We did virtual school, and we found out that virtual school really wasn't a good fit for Xander because I'm sure, as you know, everybody learns differently. So we ended up settling on EasyPeasy, which EasyPeasy all-in-one homeschool is actually free online, and then they have these books for purchase if you wanted like copies to have on hand. And I really loved the language arts curriculum because the vocabulary is really rich, and he read a lot of things that were pushing the boundaries of his reading level, which for him is always a good thing. And you can see, well, I don't know if you can tell so much, but what they do is they break it down by chapter or parts of books so that you don't feel overwhelmed by the whole thing, and you don't have to buy a separate book. So last year, one of the last books he read was Little Men, and he really loved it. This is the workbook, and for language arts. And he also did math, which this was kind of funny to us at first because when you open the book, it starts you off literally adding single-digit numbers. But the point of this book, if you can see, is it's step one workbook, and it's really just steps. And so it broke it down nice and easy for him to learn these harder concepts like negative and positive integers and adding and multiplying and dividing fractions. And then he ended with square roots and kind of some introduction to algebraic expressions. But this book made it super simple for him because it broke it down step by step. And then on their website, they actually have math tutorial videos and all that kind of good stuff. So he actually does the books for my benefit, so I see what he's doing. And then he also does online so that he can get a little bit more instruction that way. There are a few subjects that we decided to do family style, which I really, really like because I have, 4 kiddos and their ages are like all over the place. So one of the things that both Samuel and Xander did was a handwriting notebook. You'll see the kindergarten one was pretty fun. He learned to write the letters, and he was following directions by coloring specific things and copying patterns and whatnot. And then Xander's in the 5th grade level, he was doing mostly cursive. He was copying pictures and coloring things. And they both actually really liked doing handwriting. It wasn't such a chore for them, which I know a lot of times boys don't really like that. And it's not exciting to them, but they really enjoyed it, and we will be doing it again next year for sure. Those were from The Good and the Beautiful. We used them for all of our joint family style learning things because they really encourage that. It's really nice. They're very good about using different learning styles and incorporating God into it, and we just really appreciated that and liked it. The science, we did meteorology, and when the babies, I say babies, they're not babies anymore, when the littles could, they interacted with us as well. All exposure is exposure, so that was good. It comes with a bunch of different worksheets and all that kind of good stuff. So we'll be picking a different one. A lot of their science curriculums, this is a picture of what it really looks like on the website. A lot of their curriculums for science have videos of the experiments that they do, which they didn't for meteorology, which would have been nice because some of them we just didn't have the materials and couldn't do it. And so we wouldn't, and then they missed out on that opportunity. But I like that the other science courses do have that option. This history curriculum, also by The Good and the Beautiful, is amazing. It kind of just jumps all around so that you can get an overall view, and then they'll go in depth on certain things. It began in the creation, and we haven't finished it yet, but you can see it goes through modern history. What's really cool that Xander loved is that it comes with a game that you can play, and it'll tell you when to play the game, called Keys of History. It was actually pretty tricky, even for me. And then it comes with this gorgeous book that has extra stories and beautiful artwork. They also suggest some read-alouds. We read the first one. Can we find it? I don't know if it's actually... They also have these audio recordings, which are really cool because it tells the story. It tells a story, and these kids are asking their aunt and uncle questions, and it tells them about story and it tells them about history and why it's important, and that's always really nice because I know a lot of kids are always wondering why it's so important to learn history. But we really love this, The Good and the Beautiful, and the way they structure things. Okay, so Samuel is a separate case, as all children are, because everyone learns differently. Samuel is on the autism spectrum. He's very high functioning and is actually, although he struggles with his expressive language, he is above average and highly gifted, honestly. But he just has a hard time, and he learns at his own pace, which, everybody does anyways. I'm going to start with the books. We did The Good and the Beautiful for him because it is a lot of hands-on stuff, and that's the way he learns best. He kind of struggled with the language arts, to be honest, and we're way behind from where we should be in this because I took a break from it, and I actually started using these book sets called Dash into Learning, because he just didn't seem to have the confidence he needed with his reading, and I wanted him to realize that he was actually a good reader. This is just the parent guide, and it tells you a little bit more about the books. Let me get an actual book. So he hasn't read this one yet. This is the last book of set 2, but you can see the letters are nice and big and spread out, and They have this cute little horse that you can use to point out the words. It just worked better for us if the adult who was reading with him pointed to the words. He seemed to get a little bit distracted by that horse. Okay, so he also did the math books from the kindergarten math books from The Good and the Beautiful. We really, really loved these. He is a lot more math oriented. Math is a subject he feels confident in and he really likes. So it wasn't as much of a struggle for us. And what's cool is that all their math kit things come with a kit. And it comes with all these extra pieces. As you can see, this curriculum is really hands-on, which is really, really nice for him. For Samuel, we had to take sensory breaks in between subjects. It just really helped him soak in the material better. We have a bunch of busy bags and similar things that you would typically find in the classroom, perhaps. Like this one, for instance. This one's so cute. Although he's aged beyond this, and this is more for Jeremiah and Mary at this point. But you can see it has the 10 frames. And so you're supposed to put the number that is represented on the 10 frame up here on this little dot. It's super cute. It comes with pinchers. Yes, it comes with pinchers. Okay, so this is one of my favorites. You could create one yourself, but you know, sometimes you don't want to deal with the hassle. So a lot of places on Etsy have similar ones to this. You see, you grab the sight word, you put it here where it says read, then they spell it out with these pieces, and then they write it with a dry erase marker. So we did this one a lot. So Mary and Jeremiah are working on this pre-K book. It's also from The Good and the Beautiful. They have activities, and they introduce the letters, and they have fun games like this feed the elephant game. And it's keeping them busy. And Xander can help me with these because he can read the instructions and he can work with them while I work with Samuel. Samuel finished this book last year before I started him on the Level K book, because I wanted to make sure he had the good foundation of it. This is nice because it's only 34 lessons, and I bought the digital version because I figured I would want to work with Jeremiah and Mary with this. It was really fun. It's nice and hands-on, and he wasn't so flustered with this one as he was with the Level K. The other thing that we really like to do together as a family and teach Mary and Jeremiah is called Kindergarten Toolkit. It comes with a whiteboard and flashcards and this booklet that just gives you a bunch of activities that you can do, and it lists all the kindergarten goals stuff. This one is another good one. It's called Googly Eyed Monsters, and these cute little cards with monsters on them tell you how many eyes they need, and so they see the numeral and they have to use fine motor skills to put the tiny googly eyes on there. When I do sensory bins, sometimes I do them just so that they can play and have free play, but other times I try to incorporate a little bit of learning in them, and that's why I have the crayon letters and those tiny acrylic ones. So I bury them and then they have to dig them out. Another resource I like to do, and especially for holidays and worksheets, because no, I don't like to give them a ton of worksheets, but I do like to give them worksheets sometimes. Teacherspayteachers.com, I'll link that below. That's where I found this, and there's plenty of other resources. I always use them for holidays because a lot of these teachers are more creative and better with technology than I am, and I can just print them. I can just pay a small amount, like usually between $1, and then some of the more expensive stuff is like $5 for a pack of stuff. And then it gives them a little bit of extra cash for their classrooms, but then it also benefits us. Our umbrella school doesn't have a PE requirement, but I prefer my boys to stay pretty active. This year we haven't been able to do baseball like we usually do just because of the pandemic. We do a lot of yoga. Xander and I really like yoga. It's really easy and the littles jump in and it can be quite funny. We got these as part of a sensory kit that Samuel gets sometimes. They're these awesome bands that you stretch to do these exercises, and they come with these cute little cards that explain how to do them. Xander really likes them. He's hidden this set in his backpack so the littles don't take it and lose it. We also do Just Dance 2020 on the Nintendo Switch, which is a whole lot of fun, and the whole family kind of gets involved dancing together, and that's a lot of fun too. You're the proud owner of your very own ice cream shop. The Play-Doh will be your ice cream, and these are going to be your toppings. I need you to organize your toppings with those bubble tongs so that your customers know what they can get. So sort those out for me, okay? Gorilla loves vanilla. If you take a walk down Jelly Bean Street, there's a wonderful place you can go for a treat. A fabulous store full of yummy ice cream, the kind of ice cream that makes everyone beam. Little Sam's Sundae is known as the king of cones and wafers and flavors that zing. Okay, well, I really hope that you enjoyed looking through our homeschool materials. If you have any that you like to use that I didn't list, please comment below and let me know, or you can comment below and ask any more questions that you might have. Be sure that you hit the thumbs up button, that you subscribe to our channel, and that you hit that bell.